Hi, today I'm going to talk about electronic cigarettes and how it can affect the indoor air quality of vape shop and its neighboring business in a multi-unit setting. So first, what are electronic cigarettes? It's basically a battery-powered nicotine delivery system, and it's different from traditional tobacco cigarettes with combustion process. E-cig aerosols are generated by the vaporization of the e-liquid, which consists of propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, nicotine, and flavoring compounds. Since it was first invented, there have been so many generations with different designs of the devices out there in the market. But no matter how it looks like, they all have a similar component called heating coil, which provide the heat for the liquids to generate aerosols. Many previous studies have investigated the vaping's impact on indoor air quality, either in a laboratory room or in the real world settings such as vaping convention or vape shops. This is a paper from our lab last year, which found the PM2.5 and the particle number concentration inside vape shops are substantially high, which are comparable to tobacco cigarette smoking. So what are the vape shops? They are the places exclusively sell e-cigs and also serve as a lounge for people to hang out while vaping. There's a large number of vape shops distributed in the US, especially in big cities. Inside vape shops, vaping is still permitted. Despite there are so many vaping bans have been established in smoke-free environments. So most of the vape shops located in multi-unit settings with neighboring businesses such as office, tutoring center, restaurants, all kinds of businesses. That's why we hypothesize those big clouds, aerosols generated inside vape shops, may transfer to the neighboring indoor spaces through their shared ventilation or shared walls with holes or the windows or doors. This may bring potential risks of secondhand vaping exposure for employees or patrons in the nearby areas. So what we did is to recruit 9 pairs of vape shops and their neighboring businesses in Southern California in USA. We conducted sampling during business hours for 4 days in each pair since February 2017 till October 2019. We measured 24-hour time-weighted average nicotine, as well as the real-time particle number concentration, PM2.5, and particle size distribution in certain pair and vape shops. In addition, we also monitor carbon dioxide, relative humidity, and temperature, which are the important indoor climate indicators. During the sampling, we took observation notes in the field, including occupancy inside the vape shop, or activities with any potential emission source, in real-time vaping frequency, which are the total puffs generated by either the customers or the employees, and also the ventilation changes, such as they open the door or close the door. And for the real-time particle data, we took 10-minute average and conducted simple linear regressions to see the relationship of particles inside vape shop and the neighboring business. Here's a figure show the schematic diagram of the sampling locations. We install our instruments inside vape shop near main vaping area. And also we have another sampling location inside neighboring business as well as the outdoor site for ambient control. Here are the basic information for the 9 study pairs. So for the total 9 pairs, we conducted nicotine samplings in all of them. And we also measure particles in 6 out of the 9 pairs. All of the vape shops had a very poor ventilation condition, resulting in very low air exchange rates. Most of them are lower than 1 per hour. And notably, there are only 2 vape shops with natural ventilation, and that means they sometimes open their doors to bring the outdoor air in. And similar situation for the neighboring business. The air change rate is very low and showing the poor ventilation. And the rest of those shops, they use AC, which does not provide the additional air from outdoor. It's basically just circulating air inside the shop. And we also measure the vaping density, which is a new parameter we're going to discuss in the later slides. And it's the total number of puffs per hour normalized by the volume of the shots. Here are the box plots showing the particle number, concentration, and PM2.5 in 6 pairs during the overlapping hours. So we see for both PNC and PM2.5, the concentration inside vape shops are comparable to the bars and venues which allowed smoking tobacco cigarettes. And notably, the US National Ambient Air Quality Standard for PM2.5 is only 12 microgram per cubic meter. And also, it should be noted that both PNC and PM2.5 inside vape shops are significantly higher than those in neighboring business for all pairs. And we also measure the 24-hour time-weighted average nicotine, and we found that the concentration inside vape shops are comparable to previous e-cig indoor studies, which recruit volunteers to vape in a room. And also, we found the nicotine concentration inside neighboring businesses around 0.17 microgram per cubic meter, which is similar to the level at e-cig users' home. And we also calculated nicotine transfer rate, which shows the percentage of the nicotine transfer from vape shop to the neighboring business. And please keep in mind for pair C, which show the highest nicotine transfer rates, about 24.7%. And we'll talk about the particle impact later, and you'll see the reason. Here are some predictors of the indoor air pollutants inside vape shops. And we found the vaping density, which show a good correlation with the particle number and the PM2.5 concentration when the shop door was closed. And in addition, we also found air exchange rates, which negatively associate with the nicotine concentration inside vape shops as another good indicator for nicotine concentration. This is a temporal profile of PNC and PM2.5 in pair C, as I mentioned, and it's a typical sampling day, and we see during the day when there's elevated level of the concentration inside vape shops, and we always likely to see a spike in the nearby shop as well. So we did a regression analysis for all the sampling days data for pair C, and we see a significant association between both PNC and PM2.5 in vape shop and neighboring business. So we did the same thing for other pairs as well. Here is the linear regression results for all 6 pairs. So first, let's look at PNC. We found 5 out of 6 pairs show significant association between vape shop and neighboring business. And similarly, but we only found the 2 out of 6 pairs show the significance. Notably, pair C with the highest nicotine transfer rates, we see they are not only having the particle number impact, but also had a very strong PM2.5 impact. As I mentioned, for vape shop A and B who use the natural ventilation, so they occasionally open the door to bring the outdoor air in. This is a typical day for pair B. And let's look at the temporal profile for the particle number concentration. We see before 2:30, the door was closed. And after 2:30, the door was kept open during the whole afternoon. And the vaping density during the 2 sections of the time are pretty similar. And we see after the door opened, the mean PNC decreased by 19% inside the vape shop, and for nearby business, the PNC decreased by 33%. Speaking of the particle size changes, We see the door open, let the particle size distribution shifted from a bimodal to a single mode in Vape Shop B. And also for the neighboring business, before the door was open, the ultrafine particles largely penetrated into the neighboring business. And after the door opened, the hotspots for ultrafine particles start to diminish during the afternoon, even though there were also large spikes detected in the vape shop around 5 p.m. We still don't see the similar hotspots in the afternoon inside the neighboring business. And the next, we did data analysis for all sampling days with natural ventilation in both pairs A and B. And we see a similar effect as when the door was closed. It shows stronger impacts for both PNC and PM2.5. And when the door was open, the air coming inside the vape shop likely reduced the concentration in the vape shop and then reduce the parts of the of the particles that transfer from vape shop to the neighboring indoor spaces. Here are the conclusions. We found the concentration inside vape shops are substantially higher than neighboring business, and vaping density and air exchange rates are the good predictors for particle and nicotine concentration inside vape shops, respectively. And those particle levels, significant correlation between vape shop and neighboring business, showing the impact of the vape shop on the nearby indoor air quality. And door open or close for those shops with poor ventilation condition would significantly affect the transfer of particles from vape shop to the nearby indoor spaces. That is all for my talk today. Thank you.